Now from Ozarks First, you're watching KOLR 10 News at 5.
Screams afterwards, just they're bone chilling. Seeing bodies drop, and something you usually watch in a movie, you're seeing in real life.
The search for a killer in Kansas City continues tonight. You'll hear from one of the people shot in just a moment.
But first, here at 5 this Monday, our top story. The Lawrence County prosecutor is filing charges now against 5 people accused of kidnapping, raping, and drugging a woman in Everton.
This happened in August. James Maggard Jr. was one of the 4 men accused. He was arrested Saturday. Authorities are looking for his mother, Wanda. She's charged with kidnapping and conspiracy to commit rape.
And according to the probable cause statement in this case, Zachary Wade, who's in custody now, went to get the victim a drink at a convenience store.
And Wade got the victim soda, but in a plastic cup, and the victim drank it and says she immediately felt under the influence. She then lost consciousness and woke up at someone's home. The victim describes how the 4 men injected both themselves and her with narcotics. She says they continued to inject her as they repeatedly raped her.
Later, investigators say Wade and Wanda drove away with her, and Wanda watched her in the car as Wade robbed some stores. 3 of 5 suspects are still missing in this case. A detective on the case tells KOLR 10 News that makes him suspicious.
Just want to talk to them and get their version of the story, of course. By them not coming in certainly leads us to think that the information that was given to us was true.
But investigators also say in court documents the victim entered a store with the suspects at some point. She says she tried to get the attention of a security member but was unsuccessful. At
some point, the woman was able to call her family and give a location so they could come and get her. The girl's family called police. Barry says the investigation is ongoing. We
should mention all 5 suspects have previous felony convictions. You can see those previous charges by going to our web story on our website and finding this story. Just use our app and you'll click on the link to CaseNet there. Another update here at 5 tonight to a weekend crime we told you about. 46-year-old Bernard Bailey's been charged now for assaulting a Pulaski County Sheriff's deputy.
Bailey reportedly punched the deputy and threatened him with a knife after being asked to identify himself. This happened Sunday on Highway 133.
An armed citizen helped put Bailey in handcuffs, who was then taken to jail. Both the deputy and Bailey suffered multiple cuts and bruises there.
Happening now, a manhunt is underway for a man. This is Hugo Villanueva Morales. He's one of 2 men accused in a deadly bar shooting in Kansas City, Kansas.
Another suspect was already arrested. 4 people were shot to death and 5 wounded Sunday morning after an argument there. The 4 killed were Hispanic, 2 of them Mexican nationals, but police do not believe the shooting was racially motivated. Michael Barajas was among the 5 people injured, a bullet still lodged in his shoulder.
Man, I was there with my cousin. We standing there playing pool. I was standing up against the wall, and man, I just heard about like 4 shots. When I turned over to the right, I just seen an arm swing up and seen the flash, and I seen it pointing straight at me, and I tried to kind of turn, but there was no getting out of the way. It hit me. It ended up going into my back, hitting my shoulder blade and fracturing my shoulder blade.
Dozens attended a vigil last night for the victims. Police used surveillance video to identify Villanueva Morales. Officers say he's still armed and dangerous.
And investigators in Polk County need your help to find a missing man. 70-year-old Roy Albin hasn't been seen since last Wednesday in Bolivar. Sheriff deputies say he's been depressed after learning of his deteriorating health condition. His vehicle was found over in Boca Show, Oklahoma yesterday, but he was not with the vehicle. He was last seen wearing an NRA hat. If you know where Albin is, call police right away.
Around the Ozarks now, several houses caught fire early this morning in Houston, Missouri. It took 6 fire departments to help put the flames out. Crews say the fire started in one home and spread to 2 others next door. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but it caused extensive damage. As you can see here in these cell phone photos, Lieutenant David Todd from the Mountain Grove Fire Department says strong winds and homes too close to one another make it easier for fire to spread. The official cause is still under investigation.
Now to a KOLR 10 follow-up here at 5 on a major traffic project in Springfield. A local doctor has now filed a $2.4 billion lawsuit lawsuit. That's a billion with a B, I should say, involving a highway project.
Greene County wants to build onto Kansas Expressway at Republic Road all the way to Nixa to help reduce traffic. However, more land has to be purchased before construction begins. The news leader reports Dr. Gil Mobley, whose home is near where the extension would be built, filed a federal lawsuit last month. This
lawsuit is filed under the Conspiracy Against Citizens' Rights for alleged fraud and for ecological harm. Because of the project, it names 25 people, including Greene County commissioners, Highway Department employees, and even the engineering consulting company, too.
Mobley wants punitive damages for what he calls an offense on nature. He claims an endangered bat habitat and nearby archaeological caves will be threatened or destroyed by the extension. He's hoping to block the project. We reached out to both the Greene County Commission and Highway Department, but neither had a comment during the pending litigation.
While medical marijuana dispensaries are still waiting tonight to get licenses to sell, people are already lining up now to get their medical marijuana card. KOLR 10's Madison Heaver visited the Canna Bliss store this afternoon. The business has a traveling bus that goes all across the state with a doctor on board. The doctor works within Canna Bliss to prescribe medical marijuana to people who show up and qualify. We'll get to see what the process is like and how things work there. We'll have the full report coming up tonight on KOLR 10 News at 10.
In political coverage now, a federal judge cleared the way for New York prosecutors to get their hands on President Trump's tax returns. But the president's lawyers quickly appealed and blocked the order. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office has subpoenaed 8 years of Trump's personal and corporate tax returns. It's part of an investigation into alleged hush money payments made to 2 women during the 2016 presidential campaign. Investigators are trying to determine whether the Trump organization violated New York state laws. But hours after Monday's decision, a federal appeals court granted President Trump a temporary stay, which means he will not have to turn over his tax returns immediately. Instead, a panel of appeal judges will now hear the case and issue a ruling.
Well, Supreme Court justices returned to the High Court bench this week for a jam-packed session filled with hot-button issues from abortion to guns and immigration and gay rights. Tomorrow, the justices will hear about 3 cases that raise the issue of whether federal employment law that bars discrimination based on sex also applies to LGBT employees. We will, of course, follow any new developments.
Now back here in Springfield, City Council members will meet tonight for another meeting. 2 major topics on the agenda tonight. Council will consider a resolution to appoint a special judge to examine complaints against Councilwoman Jan Fisk. A local resident claimed it's unethical for Fisk's limousine business to get a contract with the city of Springfield while Fisk is serving on council. Plus, members may endorse a Medicare expansion soon. We'll have updates on KOLR 10 News at 10.
Well, successes, goals, and things to work on from Missouri State at the annual University Address this afternoon.
Can we grow enrollment? Can we improve our first to second year retention rate? And really making college more accessible.
What President Cliff Smart wants to do to counter the decline of international students next on KOLR 10 News at 5.